Hey guys, so this might be the cheesiest video that ends up being on my channel, but I'm sitting in my car right now with my Diet Pepsi, and it's snowing out, and it just like hasn't snowed in my area. This is a very snowy area generally. I feel like I remember that from being a kid, but I'm just filled with this sense of appreciation. And I wanted to talk about how like the wrong words for certain concepts can just like completely destroy them for people. And there's two phrases that are coming to mind. One is gratitude. I've talked about that, but I want to talk about it again. And the other is positive thinking. I feel like these two, positive thinking and gratitude, for me have become totally associated with like new age hacks, people who say they have gratitude or, you know, purport to like be positive, upbeat, high vibe people who you can just tell are like seething with rage underneath. And, it's like these, I'm not going to use the name because I don't want anybody who has this name to be offended, but it's like those women that people have started to refer to by a certain name who are like driving around in their minivan with like a big gratitude sticker on the back, and then they go in and just like yell at the manager for something that they have no control over. That's what those words have become associated with for me. And I especially wanted to talk about the positive thinking one, because positive thinking, I was thinking, specifically what brought this up was I was thinking, if somebody described sort of how I'm talking on my channel about manifesting to just someone who had no idea what any of it was, I could see the person thinking, isn't that just like positive thinking? Isn't that just basically another form of fake it till you make it or positive thinking? And so I was thinking, why isn't this that? Because really, I think it's very easy to confuse the phrase positive thinking with I feel like shit, but I'm going to repeat a mantra that is, a positive phrase. Or I'm going to act positive even though I don't feel good about anything. And I think it is quite the opposite. What the thing that actually makes things change and happen is pretty much the exact opposite of that. Esther Hicks talks about reaching for the next highest feeling from where you are. And I think that's sort of at the heart of the actual positive thing. In fact, if we could rename positive thinking, I think a much better way to think of it is thinking with positive expectancy. So not thinking positive thoughts necessarily, but having an orientation towards everything that it is moving towards good. It will work out ideally in the end. And if you approach things that way, it's a totally different way of thinking. I mean, you can feel absolutely shitty, but if you have trained yourself to be oriented towards the world that way, you will automatically be a positive thinker, like factually. You will be somebody who automatically thinks through whatever issue is going on in their lives in a different way, in a way that has a positive expected outcome. So like, this thing sucks right now. I'm going through this, but this is changing me in some way. This experience is valuable to me and is likely the fastest and easiest way to change me into whatever I need to be in order to support my outer world and my inner world being at a more elevated place than it is now. Happier, more of the stuff I want, more appreciation of the things I have. And that leads me to the gratitude issue. With the issue with the word gratitude. I'm just going to repeat this again. I've talked about this here a lot, I think, recently. I feel like this has been on my mind. That word is just like, when I think of gratitude, I specifically think of this instance that happened to me when I was like 19 and crazy. I was like driving somewhere in the middle of nowhere at like 11:30 at night. The fact that I am alive is amazing. I just used to do so much crazy shit. I was going somewhere by myself at like 11:30 at night in my piece of shit car that I had at the time. I was like out in the middle of farmland in Indiana somewhere, and I backed into a ditch. I don't remember how this happened or why I was backing up. Maybe there was like a dead animal in the road. I don't know. Something happened and I backed my little, like it was a 1987 Toyota Corolla. I backed my car like into a ditch slightly and I could not get out. And this was during the days of not having a cell phone. I don't think I even had a cell phone. This was like 1998. And if I did, it was one of the ones where you only got like 15 minutes a month or something. But I don't think I had it, or it wasn't charged. Like, that's something I totally would do, is like go drive somewhere some stupid time and not charge the phone, Anyway, I backed into a ditch and I was like, wow, I am truly fucked right now. What am I going to do? I swear to God, it was not more than like 1 minute before a guy with a tow hitch, like a tow truck, drove by and stopped. And this guy pulled me out of the ditch. I mean, I didn't have to wait 5 minutes before this problem was resolved. He pulled me out of the ditch. I stupidly, threw myself at this stranger and hugged him and said thank you. Did not get mauled and killed. And at this moment, I am still feeling the utter and total sense of gratitude I had at that moment. That for me is gratitude. Gratitude for me, that word, means I was just completely screwed and something came and saved me. I am so grateful for that. You obviously can't feel that feeling any other way. And I bet a lot of people, when they hear the word gratitude, that is what they associate it with, because I don't think I'm that different from most people. So for you, if you're trying to apply that type of feeling towards like your morning cup of coffee, well, it's going to feel fake because you're not that grateful for a freaking morning cup of coffee. It's not saving your life. Anyway, it's the wrong word is my point. And language is what evokes emotions in people a lot of the time. So you need to have the right words. And the right word, I think, for what people are trying to describe as gratitude is appreciation. And in a way, love. A word I don't normally like to use, but because it's so heavily associated with romantic stuff. But for me, I really do feel like a warm sense of fuzzy happiness about a lot of things during my day. And that is like a practice, I think. That to me is something that doesn't have to just sort of naturally occur. Because if you're really worried about something in your life, if you have like a big area of your life that is not going well, especially if you feel like it threatens your survival, like you are looking for a mate and you don't have one and you feel like you really need one to survive, which is a valid feeling, whether or not it's like factually true. That is, I think, a human thing to feel that way. So don't feel bad if you feel that way. It's not really probably true fully, but your feelings are understandable. Or, money. Same thing with money, obviously. People need money to survive. And so if you're really strapped and you're in a bad situation with money, it can become all consuming. But this is something that you can practice even under those circumstances, any bad circumstances. In the middle of a family member in dire straits with their health or something in the next room. You can trust me on this one. Speak from experience here. You can do this. It's just simply giving yourself permission under those circumstances, under bad circumstances, to set that aside for a moment and to just appreciate and enjoy something that you have, which feels good. And I think having the permission to not think about something that is bad in your life is really nice, and if you can get this can be hard to do, but it's just it's a practice like anything else. It's a mental training like anything else. If you can give yourself permission to do that by running down a rational checklist that it's okay to do this. Yes, You do not need to think about your finances for the next 30 minutes. Okay? Maybe you need to start thinking about them again after that. But for now, while you're enjoying this beverage that you like, or you're in a nice, amazing hot shower, which I just want to pause and say, I learned recently, because I Googled it, hot showers were not a mainstream thing until the 70s. The decade I was born. I don't know how I didn't know this. Like, when my mom was a kid, there were no showers apparently, or like certainly wasn't in every house. But I mean, you have access to a hot shower, I'm guessing. That is a luxury people did not enjoy until the decade I was born. Okay? So you have things like that in your life. I paused, but I don't remember what I was saying, other than that you should take the time to appreciate these things and give yourself a pass for 30 minutes to just stop and appreciate the things you do have, that you actually do enjoy. Like, it's such a waste if you have things that are nice in your life, that all of your focus is on the things you don't have. And it doesn't help. That's the thing. Focusing on your lack of money all day long does not bring you any more money. And I think there is a fine line here, because there are a lot of people who really need to be focused a little bit more on the things in their life that aren't working. They're just like checked out and not doing anything about it. That's not good. There's a balance in there. But I think more people are focusing on it all the time, which does not help. And this appreciation for the things that you do have, it has an impact on something. It's not just about enjoying. That's the thing. Maybe this is something else that people, a little key for some, maybe you feel like you can't allow yourself to do this because you simply can't have the luxury. Well, I think you need to consider that in a way that we don't really understand. Appreciating the things that you do have somehow seems to create more of it in your life. I mean, you could probably listen to Esther Hicks and figure out what she has to say about it really quickly, and what the supposed, mystical cause of the increase from that is. I don't think a lot about that stuff. I just say, does this work? Okay, I'll do it. So that's what I'm talking about. And that to me is not gratitude. That is putting focus on something that is good and enjoying it. What is the purpose of creating good things in your life if you're not going to enjoy them? And again, when you are habitually in, thinking only about the things that are lacking, and it almost feels scary to not think about them constantly. This is just a practice. It's just a stopping and taking a mental inventory. What am I doing right now? Is thinking about this something I need to be doing right now? Kind of giving yourself permission to not do that temporarily. You can always just say, okay, I'm just going to take a break for a half hour. This over time becomes a lot easier. It becomes, instead of habitually worrying, it becomes habitual to think about it in different ways. Thinking about it with more of a positive expectancy, thinking, okay, I shouldn't worry about this because it doesn't help. Like, that becomes something that'll just sort of pop up when you start thinking about things. I feel like I'm using the word thinking too much here. The point I'm trying to make is, there are these great concepts out there that work, that are really beneficial. And the name that they've been given has pigeonholed them into new age bullshit to the average sane person, when they are actually really like powerful, life-changing, essential things to do and think about. Thinking with positive expectancy and appreciating the things that you would appreciate if you weren't worried about some big other thing. This is easy for me to say right now because I don't have some big thing I'm worrying about right now, honestly. And so naturally, I start to appreciate things. If there's not some big thing looming that I am obsessively thinking about, then it's like, oh, my bed is so comfortable. I have the best bed. I have the best bed. When I get into bed every night, I'm just like, God, this is so nice. I just love it. My Diet Pepsi from Panera. I just love it. I don't know. I'm going to try to quit probably because of the chemical makeup, but it is so good and I love it. My car, I love that it's snowing. I'm just trying to sit here. I have so much work to do today, but I'm trying to sit here and appreciate it because this doesn't happen every day and I love it. I'm kind of glad it doesn't happen every day because the roads are crazy and it causes a bunch of congestion, but it is so pretty and I'm just trying to take a moment to look at it. And oh man, I almost never miss the pleasure of a hot shower these days when I'm in there. I'm just like, God, this is so nice. Especially now that I know that if I had been born like 10 years earlier, I wouldn't have even been in a shower, probably. I'm gonna have to ask my mom when her childhood house got a shower. I bet they were ahead of the curve. My grandpa was like that. Anyway, I hope this helped anybody. Have a great day.